piercing, poetic provocations. Let's get into our favorite lyrics from TS11.
Right, let's get into it. Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department is a true work of poetic brilliance, seamlessly weaving together intricate wordplay, vivid imagery, and deeply personal experiences. Her lyrics in this album are both introspective and universal, capturing the raw emotions of heartbreak, self-discovery, and the dark side of fame. It's no wonder that fans are finding themselves lost in the depths of her words. So, Arturo, with such powerful lyrics at play, I'm curious to know, which lines from the album truly resonated with you and touched your soul?
So there's a lot to choose from here, right? There's 31 songs, so many really powerful lyrics, but I'm going to give you a couple of the ones that stood out to me the most, but I'm sure that there's going to be more that as I continue to listen to this album, I'm going to find really provocative and thought-provoking. But the first one that I'll throw at you is a lyric from My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. And this is a lyric. It goes, "'Cause he took me out of my box, stole my tortured heart, left all these broken parts, told me I'm better off, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not."
Oof, that's a heavy one, Arturo. The imagery in that line is just so vivid and visceral. The idea of being taken out of the box like a toy only to have your heart stolen and left broken, it's incredibly powerful and heartbreaking. And the fact that it's framed as the boy breaking his favourite toys adds a layer of complexity to the emotion, suggesting that this wasn't just any ordinary heartbreak, but something deeply personal and painful. What do you think it is about that lyric that resonated with you so strongly? Was it the emotional vulnerability or the stark imagery?
I think it's a bit of both, right? Because when you listen to this lyric, right, you can tell that Taylor Swift probably had her guards up, right? She's talking about this box in a sense of like what was protecting her. And then this relationship brought her out of her box, right? And then when she felt like she was ready to explore that, she was left with broken parts, right? Meaning that he ultimately broke her heart, right? And left her in pieces. So I think it's really vulnerable, and I love the imagery that she elicits here, but it also just shows kind of the experience of that relationship that I'm sure many of us have had in the past.
Absolutely, Arturo, you've hit the nail on the head. There's something really poignant about the idea of emerging from your protective box, only to have your heart shattered. It speaks to the vulnerability and risk inherent in any relationship and the courage it takes to open yourself up to someone. And the fact that she's left with broken parts is so telling too. It suggests that this experience didn't just break her heart, but it also fractured something fundamental about her sense of self. It's a really powerful way of expressing the depth of the pain she felt. It's clear that Taylor Swift is a master of using vivid imagery to convey complex emotions. Do you have another lyric that stood out to you in a similar way?
I do, and I think this will be the last one that we say for this episode, but this one really made me clutch my pearls, right? Like, this one was a little bit spicy, and it's off so high school, and Taylor says, "Truth, dare, spin, bottles, you know how to ball. I know Aristotle. Brand new, full throttle, touch me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto." And that, I was like, ooh, okay, Taylor is going for it, right? She's giving us a little bit of that spice in this song, but I thought it was just so well articulated and fun at the same time.
Oh my goodness. Arturo, you weren't kidding when you said that lyric was spicy. That line is full of attitude and sass, and it's definitely a departure from some of the more vulnerable and introspective lyrics on the album. I love how she drops a reference to Aristotle in the middle of that steamy scene too. It's a really clever way of blending highbrow and lowbrow references, like we talked about earlier. Exactly. And the line about touching me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto is just so unapologetically bold and confident. It's clear that Taylor Swift isn't afraid to push boundaries and explore new territory on this album, both in terms of subject matter and lyrical style. What do you think that says about her growth as an artist?
I mean, I think really in this album, I feel like this is kind of the peak of her songwriting. And I think I want to continue to listen to this album start to finish many more times to continue to kind of dig deeper into some of these really interesting lyrics. But I think for now, we'll let our listeners go, and we'll remind them again to keep their thoughts deep and their minds open, and stay tuned for another episode to talk about this great album. We'll see you soon.